Hey guys, what's up? It's me, xGalaxi Girlx, and we just finished week 3 of the Hunger Games Read-A-Thon! Woohoo! So we read Mockingjay this past week, and it was awesome. So that means we finished Mockingjay, and that means the Hunger Games Read-A-Thon is over! Aww. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for participating, to everyone who participated, even if you only read the first book, or you only, just started the first book. Just thank you for participating. Just thank you. So it's been lots of fun, and the whole purpose of this readathon was to get people excited about Mockingjay Part 1, the movie. And I have seen it, and I will be making a video about that later today, probably, or tomorrow, probably today, yeah. So it was awesome, let's just say that. Now, let's get on talking about the book Mockingjay. But real quick, I left some really funny Hunger Games parodies in the description. Definitely go check those out. They're hilarious. So if you haven't read Mockingjay yet, go away and come back once you've read it, and let's talk about Mockingjay. Woohoo! Okay, so Mockingjay. I love it. It's so good. I love the entire trilogy, but this book just makes me so depressed. So let's first talk about Finnick. Finnick's my all-time favorite book character, ever. I love him to death. Yeah. So, his whole backstory, where he tells his backstory to the cameras about how he sold his body and, all the secrets about President Snow, my heart. Okay? My heart. And when he reunited with Annie, it was just the sweetest thing, and I just couldn't handle it. It was just so cute in the book and how it was written, and I was just so happy. And, when him and Katniss are talking down in the bunker, and, he says, it takes 10 times as long to put yourself back together as it does to fall apart. Ugh. My heart. I love that scene and how he gives her the rope to help her with her stress, and perfect. And, let's not talk about his death scene and how Katniss sees flashbacks of his life. That just hurts me. That hurts my heart. Here's my heart, right here, and it's just yeah. It makes me upset. I don't know why she had to kill Finnick. It makes me so sad. And then how Annie's pregnant, and makes me so sad. Anyways, let's move on from Finnick, and let's talk about another depressing topic, Peeta. Okay, Peeta Mellark. How he deteriorates throughout each of the interviews. And just so sad. So sad how she describes him, and he's shaking, and he's oh, and I'm why? And you can see the bags under his eyes. Just so sad. And then actually when we get to meet Peeta again and he tries to kill her, it's what? What's happening? And then I just love how throughout the, I love the scene where she goes outside and she goes to talk to him, because they have to keep watch on Peeta in case he tries anything, to do anything, kill himself or kill someone else, who knows. And, so, she's on watch, and he's your favorite color is green, real or not real? And she's yeah, real. And then, she's well, your favorite color is orange, and he doesn't even remember that his own favorite color was orange. And that just breaks my heart so much, because I'm Peeta. He remembers her favorite color and not his own. I can't handle that. And then when she's and you double knot your shoelaces, and you take, and it's just that whole scene where she describes all the things he, that describes him, and then I can't handle it. Can't handle it. My heart broke. And, okay, let's move on. We'll bring back Peeta probably later. Okay. Gale. Gale's never really bothered me until this book. He's being kind of a jerk and wanting to kill everyone, and then when Katniss and him have that makeout session, and I'm just and the only reason she kissed him was to feel something, and she doesn't really feel anything, and it's just as you can obviously tell, Peeta's Peeta's just more awesome, and just Gale is hey Katniss, you want me to kill PETA for you? I can do it. No, Gale, that's okay. Thanks, though, for the offer. It's like, what is this? I don't know. That was in the book. I don't know. Haymitch. I love Haymitch. He's my favorite, like, companion to Katniss, like, between Effie, Cinna, and Haymitch. It's Haymitch. I love him. He's so funny, and I just love him so much. And, when they hug, when, Haymitch and Katniss hug, and she's like, the only one I want to comfort me is Haymitch because he loves PETA too. Oh. Then let's talk about the Hanging Tree song. That whole scene was so emotional, how she's singing and the birds like stop singing, and it's just like my whole heart just hurts. And I love Prim, and, like, those two scenes with Prim where she's talking, and she kind of, like, brings Katniss's whole back onto reality, and how, when she says, President Snow will do whatever it takes to break you, and I just love that so much. Let's talk about Joanna, because, when Joanna comes back, after they, rescue PETA and Joanna and Annie, Joanna and Katniss, Joanna, like takes Katniss's morphling, and that just, like, hurts me. And when she trains with Katniss on the city block and everything, and she failed her testing, to go out into the field, because her weakness was the water, and then, because in the Capitol they tortured her with electrical shocks through water. That's why she didn't take showers, and she rubbed herself down with a wet cloth, and, yeah, it's just so depressing. I was like, Joanna, I can't. The scene with PETA, stay with me always. There was a part where, after Katniss got shot, and she wakes up, and the first word is always. And that's like, she realizes that was what PETA said to her. And then later on, after they get out of underground, right after Finnick dies, they get up out of ground, and he's like shaking, and then she goes over to him and says, "Stay with me." And then he starts calming down, and once he calms down all the way, he says, "Always." I'm just like, I don't remember this, but this is perfect, and I was just really happy. Let's talk about the Gale and PETA conversation, where Gale says she will pick whoever she thinks she can survive without. She'll pick whoever she thinks she can't survive without. And, love that scene between Gale and PETA. I thought that was great, and that kind of really hurts Katniss, that what Gale said, because not who she can live without, but who she can't survive without. And that just really hurts me, and hurts Katniss, and I'm just like, this ain't okay. This is why I do not like Gale. And, I don't know. So, the take over the Capitol scene was awesome. That whole scene is like crazy madness, and her and Gale, and then when Gale gets, like, taken away, and she doesn't shoot him, and then later on, after Katniss kills Coin, and he doesn't shoot her, and it's like, they're both like, they can't do it, and it's just so sad. And then when Prim dies, it's so sad, and just to see Katniss's, like, fall, like, her complete and utter breaking, it just hurts so much, and how she wants to kill herself, and, and, it's so sad, but we'll come back to that for a second. First thing I want to talk about is the vote for the Hunger Games. This whole scene, I just was so angry with it, because they voted to see, okay, so basically where it was, is like, the Capitol was like, they wanted to execute all the Capitol people, but they didn't want to kill them all, because they still needed to have enough people to repopulate. And so they were like, oh, let's have a Hunger Games for the Capitol people. So they voted, and PETA, BT, and Annie said, no way. And I'm with them all the way. No, this is why we just had a war. This is why we just were like, no. And then, but Katniss, Joanna, Honoria, Haymitch all said, yes, have another Hunger Games. And Katniss's reason was because of what was it of? Because of Prim. And I was just like, I'm not okay with this. And then after Katniss kills Coin, and she tries to take the nightlock, the pill from her shoulder, and Peeta puts his hand there and saves her. I can't. And then let's talk about the final thing. We'll wrap it up real quick. The book she and Peeta creates about happy memories of the small details that, like Rue about to take flight, and Prim and her cat, and just, the color of Finnick's eyes, and Annie and her son, and it just, all these little details that, and the last freaking line of the book is perfect, about how she's talking about how, she has to, like, remember all the good things, every small act of goodness she's ever seen, and she says this is a tedious game, but then she says, but there are much worse games to play. And I'm just like, perfect! So, yeah, that's Mockingjay in a nutshell. I covered the big things, so if I didn't cover something you wanted to talk about, we'll talk about it in the comments. So I guess that's it. Tell me your favorite scene in Mockingjay. Probably the very ending. Where they're Peeta and her are making the book together, and he asks her real or not real. And the whole last line, the whole last paragraph, how Peeta's her dandelion in the spring. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about, because, Okay, so I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining me again for the Hunger Games Read-A-Thon. It was super fun. I very much enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll touch you guys next time. I love you guys all so much, and bye!